Hey, look at this. For the past couple of days, I've been carrying both a LAMY Al-STAR and a LAMY SAFARI and using these as my everyday carry fountain pens. I take a lot of notes every day, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to see if there's a difference between the two in the writing experience and in the construction of these two. There are some differences, but they're very slight. So we will, in this video, we'll look at cost of each, and we'll look at construction, and I'll give you my opinion if it's worth getting an All-Star. Spoiler alert, yeah, go ahead and get both. They're both fantastic pens, but they are different, a little bit different. Okay, well, let's get into it. So we'll do a writing sample at the end of the video, but as far as the day-to-day writing experience goes, I really can't tell a difference. They're both very smooth. I've used Lystrom paper, Maduri paper, Rhodia paper, and I've taken a lot of notes, pages and pages of notes with both of these, and I can tell you, I really can't tell a difference at all. This one is a bold nib, and this one is a fine nib, and honestly, they're both very, very smooth, lay down a good amount of ink. This Safari is 12 years old. I looked at my Amazon history. I ordered this in 2013. So it's a very durable pen, and this will probably be a very durable pen too. Let's look at how your LAMY pen will come packaged when you get it. This LAMY Al-STAR came packaged in its typical LAMY box. Pretty unusual box. Clipped to a piece of cardboard. And there's some warranty information here. There's a cardboard spacer between the section and the body to keep you from piercing the cartridge that comes with it. There's the cartridge. And there's that little cardboard spacer. So the All-Star is just a tiny bit thicker than the Safari. They're both about the same height. Actually, the Safari may be just a tad bit longer. There's a big difference in the spring tension on the pocket clips. And this pocket clip on the Safari is really in there. I'm not sure how they installed it, but it's really screwed down there good, and it has got a lot of tension on it. The pocket clip on this All-Star is a little loose filling, and you can pull it out. You can't pull it off, but you can pull it out. So it's just kind of clipped in there somehow. And it is quite a bit looser. It doesn't have near the amount of tension on it that this does. They're both okay. They both have got enough, but the tension on the Safari is pretty stout. The cap from the Safari will not fit on the All-Star, but the cap from the All-Star will fit on the Safari, but it doesn't fit tightly. So it's just catching right here, right at the end. And this will not catch up there because of this big ring, and that's one of the differences. So you can tell between the grip section and the body, there's this big fat ring on the All-Star and a little skinny ring on the Safari. And I think the reason is this flat section goes all the way up to the end of the body. But on the Safari, the flat part just goes up to right here, and then it's round again. So you don't need a big ring like this to fill up that gap in the cap. And that's what that big fat ring does. It kind of fills up this gap in the cap. And that's another difference. The detent on this Safari is a lot lighter. It's secure, but it's a lot lighter. And I think the reason is this is just catching right here on the end with the Safari, But here, it's got tension on the end, up in here, but also around that ring. And there's a little bit of a ridge right here on the cap. The All-Star is just a little bit heavier too, but if I weren't holding a Safari in my hand, I would never notice the difference. There's the finial on the caps, and there's the finials on the body section. And this looks like it's just what it is. It's just a piece of plastic that's pressed in there. And this may be just molded, just part of the molding. I'm not sure. So these are the difference that you might notice. You might notice the weight, but I doubt it. Unless you're holding a Safari in one hand and an All-Star in the other, you're probably not going to notice the weight. They feel the same. This aluminum feels exactly like this plastic. The spring tension is a little bit looser on the All-Star, a little bit tighter on the Safari. The detent on the cap is a little bit looser on the Safari, but is a much more secure fit on the All-Star. I wouldn't think twice about just dropping this in my pocket. This one, I might. They both have this kind of triangular grip section. Some people like that, some people don't. I love it. I think it's great. The grip section on the All-Star is kind of frosted. The grip section on the Safari is just solid ABS plastic. Safaris cost between the mid $20 up to the mid $30. All-Stars, mid $30 up to the mid $40, depending on what you get. If you get a special edition, you could be close to $50. Both, I think, are reasonable and very affordable and a good value for what you get. So both of these are really good riders. I like this triangular grip section. A lot of people don't, but I do. It's just a really good reference point, and it's for me, it's really comfortable. If you've got really big fingers, it may not be. For me, it's a good fit. These are both really smooth. This nib is 12 years old, so it's been polished just by years and years of riding. But they both just really glide across the paper. So this is a fine point and this is a bold point. Excellent, excellent pens. So my preference is for the All-Star, but they're both excellent pens, and really, if you get into fountain pens, you're going to end up buying both. So just go ahead and get both. This one is just a little bit more substantial, but really the differences are just very slight, not a big difference. And the price is just a little bit more for this one than for this one. So eventually you're going to end up with both of them. So there you go. Catch you on the next one. Bye.